Hi, this is Vegetarian Cooking. This is Frankie. I'm Brett. Today we're going to be making a low-carb pasta with celery root, and it's going to have a pesto sauce. So first we want to cut off the skin. And you can use a potato peeler. It works okay, but I find it's a little easier to do with just a big old knife. And these celery roots are a little tough to find. I get them at Sprouts. Hopefully you have a local Sprouts that has celery root. They have some nice fresh celery roots all the time, so I hope they keep it up. Okay, I think that's probably good enough. And so then let me take all these peels and throw them away or compost them. Now, spiralizing celery root, it's not as easy as spiralizing a potato or a zucchini, but it is easy enough. One of these days I'll get a industrial strength spiralizer so I can do it easily. But for now I've got this Spiralizer brand spiralizer, and it works pretty well. It's pretty strong, but so I'm just going to cut it in half like that, and then I'll set up the spiralizer. So with the spiralizer, you just kind of turn this all the way down, and that really sticks it firmly to the table. And on the part that has these grippers, we use the most solid part, which is the inside. So we'll get the grippers to the inside, and we stick that to that end. And instead of using the handle, I'm going to need more force to do celery root. So I grab here and I push. And it's coming out pretty good. And again, celery root is definitely tougher than other vegetables, but it's well worth it, as it, I think, by far makes the best vegetable spaghetti. And you really have to keep the force pushing forward to keep the spikes into the celery root. So one of these days I'll invest and get an industrial strength spiralizer. It probably costs about the same as this one. This is going really well. Okay, I think I can get a little more out of this, so I'm going to cut it into fours and just try to get a little more out of it. And this celery root, it weighed about 10 ounces, and that's half of it. So that's like 5 ounces of celery root. Makes a good amount of pasta right there. I mean, that's one very big serving right there. So now we'll start on the second half. Whoops, wrong way. And again, we always want to get the firmest part into these spikes. And again, really key that you keep those spikes pressed firmly. Gets a little harder as you go, but okay. Then I got this one. And that should be pretty good. Okay, so we got our water heating up. It's not boiling yet, but as soon as it gets to a boil, we will put these in, and I think we'll probably cook them for 8 to 10 minutes. And that makes pretty firm al dente celery root pasta. And so in the meantime, we'll work on our sauce. Okay, for our sauce, we're going to start with a quarter cup of 4 tablespoons of extra virgin organic olive oil. And again, I use Trader Joe's extra virgin organic Italian olive oil. I think it's really top quality, maybe as good as the ones from the Olive Oil Club. So we've got our 4 tablespoons or quarter cup, and we're going to add a tablespoon of minced garlic. And then we got 4 tablespoons of red onion. I'm going to add some fresh black pepper. I like a lot of peppers, so I'm going to put at least a tablespoon. And then we got a half teaspoon of salt. Okay, I'll let that simmer for a couple minutes, and then I'll add the pesto. Now I get the pesto from Costco. It has a really, really, really good flavor. It has one flaw: it doesn't use the best oils, but of course we compensated for that by adding our own extra virgin olive oil. So the majority of oil, I'm gonna add a couple more tablespoons. The majority of oil is going to be organic extra virgin olive oil. Okay, then we'll add our pesto. And we'll just let that cook for a minute. I'm going to turn the heat down to low. And I'm going to shut that off all the way. So so I cooked the celery root for about 6 minutes. I boiled it. And celery root pasta, it's not like other vegetable pastas. It doesn't hold a lot of water. It doesn't really hold any water at all, hardly. So you don't have to worry about, really, forcing the water out of it. You just boil it and just strain it just like you would any kind of spaghetti. So that's a good amount, just that one celery root. It weighed about 10, 11 ounces. It costs $2.65. So I think it's a pretty... And I think that probably serves, I mean, 3, 4. I mean, I could eat the whole thing by myself, but a normal person would be 2, 3, 4 servings. And then we're going to add our pesto sauce. And again, I used about a half a cup of pesto, plus another 6 tablespoons of olive oil, onions, garlic, salt, and pepper. And that looks really good. But to make it even more to my liking, I add some extra cheese to it. So we've got, I got 3 different kinds of cheeses here. I've got a pecorino romano that I got at Trader Joe's right here. And that's a raw milk cheese, really hard to find. I've got a Parmesan Reggiano from Italy. And I've got a goat-style cheddar, which is just a mild white cheese. And it's, I think it'll go really well in this dish. So we'll put the Parmesan, and I like cheese. I'm just going to put it all on there. And I know that looks like a lot, but I think it'll come out really good like this. And we'll just mix that really well. Yeah, so if you decide to try a celery root pasta, let me know what you think in the comments. I personally think it's by far the best of the vegetable pastas. A little tougher to work with, but it's still manageable. If you get a really strong spiralizer, it wouldn't be a problem at all. But even with it being tougher to work with, it's definitely worth it. You can see that looks really good. So let me know what you think in the comments, and I hope you try celery root pasta. If you do, let me know what you think, and we will see you next time at Vegetarian Cooking.